Welcome to the Revitalize and Renew 4-week digestive detox. So my name is Karen, and for those of you that don't know me, I have a background as a medical doctor. I went to medical school in Australia, and now what I do is help people create health. So I moved away from clinical medicine treating disease to actually moving to the question of what creates health. And if there's one thing that creates health, it is a healthy gut. And welcome, Jean. I am just going to put you on mute. There, we're all on mute here. And so what I'm going to do, first of all, is just remind you just how important gut health is. So I just have a few little slides that I'm going to share. I'm going to share my screen now. And this often, if you are new to the concept of gut health, this often surprises people. So I have to give full credit. You'll see a little word down here called Sonovive Medical Institute. I have to give full credit to Sonovive is a functional medical facility in Rosarito, Mexico, and they have an integration of functional health, integrative medicine, and the Western medicine, and they treat all kinds of diseases with a holistic approach. And if you are interested in being a Sonovive nutrition advisor, talk to the person who invited you, because really, it's so exciting to be on the cutting edge of nutritional science. And this is a slide that comes from their nutrition advisor course. And it speaks to all the things and more. I mean, we could make 2 slides with a list, because one of these says autoimmune diseases. And right now, at last count, there's over 100 documented autoimmune diseases. So the other thing that's interesting about this is, yes, you see probably obvious digestive disorders like constipation, diarrhea, Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disease, diverticular disease, gallstones. But then you see other things you might think about, like pancreatitis or heartburn, gluten sensitivity. And then I could do a whole other slide on skin disorders like psoriasis and eczema that are related to gut health. In fact, I think every dermatologist should be asking questions about gut health, because the skin's the largest organ of the body. So an unhealthy gut basically can impact every aspect of your body. And I'm going to focus here on autoimmune diseases, because a lot of people are suffering from these, and we're seeing an increase in them as our environment becomes more toxic. And I'm going to talk to you about something called leaky gut syndrome. So for a lot of people, you never think about this, and you think, oh, leaky gut might be when you're leaking feces. No, leaky gut happens in the small intestine. So food is broken down in the stomach, and the nutrients then get absorbed into the small intestine, and it's up to the small intestine to then take the nutrients into the bloodstream. And the small intestine has these very tight junctions, 1 cell thick. You can see these very tight junctions, very tight, to stop things like gluten and viruses and bacteria and toxins from getting into the bloodstream. So this is a healthy gut barrier. That's why we call it intestinal permeability. So you don't want it to be permeable. You don't want these things in the bloodstream. So they're tight junctions. But what happens is, when we have an unhealthy digestive system, say we're not chewing our food properly, or we don't have good digestive enzymes, or we're not getting good nourishment, or we're eating too much gluten, then these junctions become loose, they become weak, and they become permeable. And so things get into our bloodstream that we do not want. And what happens is the immune system says, alert, alert, alert. And then the immune system goes on overdrive, and that's considered an autoimmune process. And leaky gut is believed to be the beginning of autoimmune conditions. So if you or anyone you know has any autoimmune condition, the first place to start is the gut. It's cleaning up the gut. And that's what this program is about. in the Revitalize and Renew program, we focus on the 4 areas of functional health that help support a healthy gut. First of all, you have to remove the things that are causing that intestinal permeability or that are causing the digestive distress. So we remove those things. And in this program, we eat whole healthy food and we're removing dairy, gluten. So we're also removing, hopefully, any skincare products that might have extra chemicals and toxins, because what we put on the skin gets absorbed into our body. So we are removing processed foods. We are removing ultra processed foods, the things that irritate the gut. Because no matter what you do about supporting a healthy gut, if you don't remove these things first, those supportive supplements, for example, aren't going to be as powerful. So first of all, remove, then replace. So we're removing the processed food, the ultra processed food, we're replacing with amazing, yummy, whole, healthy, vibrant food. And also a big aspect of this is replacing digestive enzymes, because a lot of gut issues begin from a depletion of digestive enzymes. So by the time the food gets into the small intestine, it's not as absorbable. The nutrients aren't as bioavailable. So part of this program is using a very high quality digestive enzyme that's able to break down carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into the smallest nutrient dense packages for the small intestine to absorb. So we're replacing with healthy alternatives. And then you'll hear us talk a lot about the microbiome. As you go through the program, you'll hear a lot of talk about the microbiome. These are the microbes living inside of us that outnumber our human cells. And these microbes are responsible for every metabolic process in our body. And it's so important to have a healthy, diverse microbiome. And many of us are out of balance with that because of all the things I talked about. All the things that we're putting in our body that's creating digestive distress is messing with our microbiome. So you'll be taking a very healthy probiotic, probacteria. You'll be increasing fiber, which is a prebiotic for good bacteria, for good diversity. You'll be eating amazing antioxidant-rich foods that support the microbiome. So we're re-inoculating and then resetting. Because it's a 4-week program, you are setting up a new lifestyle. You are resetting your shopping list, your recipes, your meal plans, your exercise, your sleep. So it's a reset, but we do it slowly so that you have time to integrate these behavior changes. And by the time you get to the 4 weeks, it will become second nature. You'll feel so great. You'll have more energy. You'll be sleeping better. You'll be able to move with whatever kind of exercise or physical activity. You'll have more energy for that. And you'll be setting these new habits. So that's just a little very brief look into the program. And usually on this first call, what I like to do is to show you the program. So I'm going to go back. I have it all open for you. And I want to just explain how it works. So it's on a beautiful platform called Kajabi. And there's an orientation here, video. And then here are the 4 weeks. So this is what we're talking about today, preparing for the detox, an introduction to digestive health. And with every module, there is an opening video by Dr. Deb Kern and myself. And then there's handouts. So when you click on the week one, and your coach will be giving you access to this private platform. And the great news is you will have it forever. So once you have access, you can keep going back to re-look at the videos or to open the download. So the first thing to do in our removing is to get a set point of where you are. And these are PDFs, very easy to access. On the symptom questionnaire, you'll find that this happens each week where we do a reflection on where you're at. So if you're brand new to this program, this is the first place to start. is to do this one, it's just one little page. And this actually comes from a medical symptom questionnaire, otherwise known as MSQ. And I love this because it takes you through different systems of the body. And you might be wondering, well, why are they asking that question? Because gut health affects every aspect of our body. And some people, it might be more of the skin. Some people might be more of the emotions. In fact, anxiety and depression, we believe now with the new functional medicine science, is that it begins with an imbalanced microbiome that causes the chemical imbalance. Whereas in my day in medicine way back, we thought the chemical imbalance started first, the original cause. But now we're realizing, going deeper, that gut health is at the cornerstone of creating that chemical imbalance that is known as anxiety, depression, which is about lifestyle. And there's a really good book. What is that book called? Mind Matters. Kelly Brogan. She is a psychiatrist that has kind of awoken to this understanding of the link between gut health and mental health. And she's completely reframed her whole practice around lifestyle, because that's where she believes the true answer to our mental health crisis is. So what I want you to do is fill out this questionnaire in each section, and the scaling is just in the last month on a scale of 0 to 4. If you've had none, you just put 0. A severe is 4. And you add up each of the totals in each section, and then you add up each section and get a grand total, just so that we have an objective view of where you are now. And then I encourage you to do this each week so that you get some sense of how you're progressing, because sometimes improvement happens without you really knowing it. So here we're actually measuring it. So I love this. I use this MSQ with all of my clients in so many different ways. So that's the symptom questionnaire. Then let's have a look at what you're actually going to be doing. Now that you know the 4 R's, you'll see this makes sense. So this is based on the Sonovive Medical Institute model. Basically what you do when you go to Sonovive. It's like having that detox experience at home. So scraping your tongue first thing in the morning and drinking some hot or warm water with a little lemon. It helps to alkalinize the body first thing. And then breakfast, you get to choose. If some people like smoothies for breakfast, and if you do, then you can do the Nutri-Meal-free shake, or your own shake of your choice that's gluten-free and dairy-free. Or, of course, if you like to have real food, then we have in the recipe section some samples of a healthy breakfast. And what this allows is customization based on what you like best, what works best for you. And then anything in the red is part of your Balance the Belly pack that you will have as part of this program. So you will have something called Fiber G Active, which is a fiber, it comes in a bag and it's got a scooper. This is your prebiotic. This is what the microbiome bugs love, the extra fiber. So you can put some Fiber G in with your smoothie. If you love to have yogurt in the morning, you can put Fiber G in your yogurt. You can put Fiber G on your salad. So just make sure you get that in first thing with your breakfast. And then you'll have your AM Health Pack, your fish oil, your grapeseed extract, and of course your probiotic. Your probiotic you always want to take with food, because it has to populate the large intestine microbiome, and you never want to take it on an empty stomach. And then snacking is optional. So ideally, you would not snack. In fact, the research is showing that the longer we can leave between 3 meals, the better our insulin sensitivity is. We get to rest our colon. So, but if you're super hungry, then you can choose a low glycemic snack, some kind of protein and complex carb. And then lunch is the low glycemic, gluten, dairy-free meal. You can choose from the recipes, and digestive enzymes. So every time you have a meal, you will take a digestive enzymes for the reason that I mentioned, because we want to break all that food down into the smallest nutrient-dense particles so that they're more bioavailable once they get into the small intestine. And then snack is optional. Then dinner again, low glycemic, gluten, dairy-free. And then at night, I'd say this to make it easy. You have a bottle called Hepasil, which is a powerful liver support supplement that has milk thistle and alpha lipoic acid, and it helps the detox pathways of the liver, because the liver is your organ of detoxification, and we're going to look after your liver through this process. So you'll be able to look at that, maybe print it out. I would recommend that you print it out and then keep it somewhere handy. We have a shopping list for you. And so I would be starting this right now. You see, you have lots of choices, because we want this to be your program that works for your lifestyle. Now, some people, I'm looking at bok choy, maybe never had bok choy. Well, it might be time to kind of give that a go. But if you don't want to, then you have many, many other choices. Cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, fabulous for detoxification. In fact, the best vegetable for detoxification is broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts. If there's one thing I would highly encourage you to introduce, if you haven't already, is broccoli sprouts. I tried to do the sprouting myself. Didn't work, but I'm going to try it again. But broccoli sprouts supposedly is easy to make. But it just, I don't know, I did something wrong. I buy it. So broccoli sprouts is the best vegetable for detoxification. And then we just have renew and revitalize guidelines for you. Just things to do: clear out your kitchen, get rid of the things that aren't conducive to this program so that they're out of the house, adding greens, committing to the 2-3 meals a day at the same time each day, if that works for you, a digestive enzyme with each, drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. So important for detoxification. So this is not long, but it's something that you can print out and then put up on your refrigerator. So the purpose of these calls are really Q&A, because what I want you to do is to be so engaged with the program itself that you come with questions, and we can just dig deeper into your questions and your experiences. And the modules you see, they're not long. Here's your Balance Your Belly Pack. So here's your Fiber G Active, your prebiotic. Here's your AM/PM Health Pack. Here's your probiotic that's dairy-free, sugar-free, and you do not have to refrigerate it, which is fabulous. Here's your grapeseed extract, your liver support, fish oil, and your digestive enzymes. Now, since this is the first call, I also just want to encourage you, if you like Facebook, we do have a private Facebook group, and I'm going to pull that up just so that you can take a little peek at it. And what I do on this, when I'm actively in a group like this, I post fairly often, and so do a lot of our coaches. So here it is. It's called Revitalize and Renew 4-Week Digestive Detox. Today I posted, I get all kinds of great information across my computer. So I love this one about the kinds of pans to use and not use, because we're talking about detoxification. Oh, I see. Thank you, Janet. You commented on that. You have an induction stove, so stainless steel and cast iron are what we use. What does that mean, Janet? What does that mean? Don't even know what that means.
So an induction oven or stove, it's a type of way that it heats. So the top, even if the stove is on, if a pan isn't over the element, it won't be hot.
Huh.
So
Wow.
the minute you move the pan away, it might be a little warm, but it's really crazy. But it will not work on Teflon or any anything like that. So you have to have stainless steel or iron, or you won't be cooking.
How interesting. Wow. Huh. Um, oh, and then Jean got rid of her coated pans. Yay, Jean. Woohoo. And then I posted this. So it's a great place to come and get extra information because the more we can get informed, uh, the healthier we can be. It's a journey. It's we're not going for a destination in 4 weeks. We're going to really up level our ability to detoxify the body. So you can have your coach add you to this group if you're interested. So any questions or comments, the coaches can jump on and anything you want to say.
Well, the whole toxin thing is to me a huge eye opener. I mean, there's one thing I would love to see in the United States is get rid of all these plastic bags, all these plastics that are ending up in the ocean and in Costa Rica. And I mean, and you know it's all come from the United States.
Yeah.
But no, the plastic, now that with the microplastics and all the studies showing how much of these microplastics are actually in our brains and in our organs, I'm like, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. My daughter at her school, she's a kindergarten teacher. They got rid of, they used to have milk, plastic milk containers, and now they do it all in boxes, milk boxes, boxed milk. Yeah. So it's slow, very slow moving, but yeah, we live in a world of plastic of convenience. But a lot of people don't realize that is part of the detoxification. Yeah, having a stainless steel water bottle and not buying plastic water bottles. Yeah, for example. So any other comments or questions?
I have a comment. Just a couple notes I wrote down. So, like you said, this is a lifestyle and it's, you know, it's not a destination, it's a journey. But, you know, I had two patients this week in my practice, and one was she wasn't my patient, but she made a comment that, okay, I'm doing this better something kind of like diet program. She was already had the mindset. They don't want me to eat yogurt. I'm done. I won't, I'm not going to be successful on this. And I just simply asked her, I says, but how long do they not want you to eat yogurt for? She's like 3 weeks.
Ah,
I said, first and foremost, there's prior method to the madness between the yo plays is different than a this is different than a, you know, no sugar added plain yogurt. So I think they have to probably level the playing field. But I said, you know, you should really try to let your mind be open
mhm.
to trying, you know, something. And then I had another gentleman who was dealing with various sound like autonomic symptoms for like 4 years. And I started talking about at least starting to get rid of things, toxins, you know, watch your gluten. Oh, no, never. I'll never get rid of that. Never. As long as the day I live. Blah, 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 blah. It was like, so try to, uh, when you catch yourself being resistant to something, just kind of put your stop sign up and say, why am I being so resistant? And let me just kind of go with the flow and try the program and talk to my coach if I'm struggling.
Right. And the mindset is so important. And that's why too, when I showed the shopping list, I talked about all the choices. Like just because you can't have one thing, actually, it's like, are you going to focus on what you can't have or all of the things that you now can have? And that mindset is so important. Um, and the yogurt one was like the yogurt one was interesting because couldn't they have something like if they were really stuck on yogurt, couldn't they have coconut yogurt or something? I assume it was a dairy thing, but
Yeah, I didn't get into the program thing with her in detail. It was kind of like a by the by mentioning it, and I could
yeah,
just tell she was already shutting herself down. And I'm like,
yes,
we don't
yeah,
want to do that.
yes, yeah. Well, and that's also why everybody has a coach on this program. So, yes, you have, because a lot of programs, they just kind of throw a digital platform, but they don't provide any support. And here you have not just the digital platform, you have these Q&As for 4 weeks, once a week, and you have your own coach to be able to troubleshoot. So it's a huge opportunity to take that step and really be supported. And did we have a question in the chat? Let's see. Did Jean ask something? Let's see. I'm going to open the chat here.
She loved her veggies and hummus.
Ah, yes. I love veggie hummus, a snack. Does this fit in? Yes, it does, Jean. Yes, yes, yes. I'm glad you like that. That's something you probably started with the Jumpstart program. So anything, so you're doing veggies, which is your complex carbs, and hummus has some good fat, healthy fat, and some protein in it. So yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right. So everyone's task is to look at module 1, watch the video, open all the downloads, print them out, put them somewhere. And a lot of people are waiting for their products to arrive. So this first week is kind of preparation. Fill out your symptom questionnaire and send it to your coach. You can just take a photo if you want and text it so that you don't have to mess with being able to scan a PDF and send it. So that symptom questionnaire is going to be so important to be able to measure your progress along the way. And we'll meet back again the same time to review the 4 R's, go deeper dive into the 4 R's of functional health with digestive health. So I hope you have a great week
Very
and we'll be back.
interesting. Thank you.
All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.